If you find yourself in the airport, we are quickly approaching the deadline to get a real ID, which eventually will be a requirement to get through security. Good Thursday evening. I'm Tyler Lopez.
And I'm Janice Rebholt. Thanks for joining us at 10. Now, if this sounds familiar, it's been a real journey. First decided by Congress in 2005. It's tonight's top story, where Madison Porter tells us more about the process of updating your license to a real ID. Madison.
A year from today, if you plan on booking a flight and you don't have a real ID, you're going to need some other form of identification or a trip to the DMV.
Mostly it's about creating uniformity and a strengthened identification system.
Starting May 8th of next year, frequent flyers will need a real ID to get through security. This federal law will standardize the requirements across all states in terms of what it takes to get a driver's license.
What this came from is really a recommendation after 9/11, which was that we had 50 different states, 50 different standards for IDs. We wanted to have one national guideline to make sure the people who are presenting the ID are really the right people.
Illinois' Secretary of State reports only 23.5% of people now hold a real ID. But if you don't use airplanes for domestic travel, don't visit military bases, and don't visit federal facilities, a standard ID will do just fine.
The reason the airports come into it is because every commercial airport has a TSA checkpoint, and that's considered to be federal access. So TSA will deny you boarding if you show up and you don't have a passport or a TWIC card or a real ID.
Illinois launched a campaign this week to spread the word, making sure when that deadline is here that people know about it.
We don't want people to be heartbroken when they try and board a plane, but also, very importantly, from our perspective, what we don't want to have May of next year is an absolute rush of people trying to get their real IDs, and our DMV facilities are overburdened. We're unable to help people in an appropriate manner.
The process of getting your real ID doesn't take much work. I applied and got mine in about 2 to 3 weeks. I needed a proof of my identity, like my birth certificate, my social security card, 2 current documents proving where I live, like a pay stub and voter registration card, and lastly, proof of my signature, like a signed credit card. If your license doesn't expire for more than a year, it's only a $5 fee to get it corrected. But if it is expired, it's the same fee for a standard license, which is $30.